Okay, I am just taking you through the steps for the color mask with the 5 from 1 assignment. And I have here something that's it's pretty similar to what we're doing, a little bit different, but it's kind of a similar idea in that there's transparent colored components and a colored cast shadow. And what we want to do is our usual kind of range of adjustments. I'm going to suggest that you do them before you apply your black and white adjustment layer so that you can kind of like get the color where you would like it. I'm doing a bit darker here with the levels because I want a little bit more of the color. So I'm going to I think I'm going to bump the contrast. You know what I mean? I'm going to bump up the contrast so I can bring more of that out. And I think that I will also do a hue and saturation, and I will just increase, you can see here I'm decreasing saturation. I'm going to increase the saturation just to bring out that color a little bit. Maybe I'll even bump it up a little bit more. Yeah, you can see the difference. So I've done a levels adjustment, a brightness contrast, and a hue and saturation where I'm bumping the saturation up. And what I'm going to do next is on top, as my last adjustment, I'm going to do a black and white adjustment layer. And you can see that whenever we add these layers, these adjustment layers, they automatically have a mask on the layer. So you can see that I have the mask selected here on the black and white adjustment layer because there's the dotted line around that rectangle. It's really important that you have the mask selected when you're on the black and white layer in order to reveal color below. So the next thing is to make sure that black is forward. And then we go to the brush tool. It's kind of similar to when we're doing a vignette, but we're revealing a more specific area and we're not dumping on a new layer. So I'm gonna go to the brush size, and I'm still gonna use a soft-ish brush. We'll do you can experiment with this because you do want some control. You don't want it to be so soft that you're not getting a clean edge. And this is a situation where you might decide you want to zoom in on the area and be able to have some control. So maybe reduce the size of the brush so that you can, get the area that you would like to reveal. And so when we're on the black and white adjustment layer, we have black forward, we have the layer mask selected, and we're using the brush tool. We're revealing the color layer that is below this. And so we can decide how much and where we want to reveal that color in order to support the composition that we have created. So we don't want to just reveal the color with no intention. We want to have some kind of plan. And it might be that you're revealing an object. Okay, so here I've selected one of the colored glasses to reveal. It could also be that you're going to experiment with revealing only the shadow. So I could decide that I'm going to reveal the color of the cast shadow instead of the object. And you can see that I'm working here. And again, you might decide that you need to zoom in order to be able to be more precise. And so we want to have, a strategy that we're following in order to get an interesting composition, and you might find that you've got to reduce the size of the brush a little bit in order to get into certain areas in an effective way. So I'm zooming in, I'm reducing my brush size because I want it to look clean. I might decide that I don't want the brush to be too soft because then I don't have the control that I want. So if I use a harder edge brush, I'm going to get this hard edge. It's sort of a balance, right? Like, do you want to include, how much do you want to include? So this is what I would like to see you experimenting with for this edit. It involves, being able to select the layer mask on the black and white layer and get your brush tool, have black forward, and be revealing. The other thing that's important for you to understand is that if you make a mistake, like if I reveal more than I want to, maybe I didn't want to have this handle, I can put white forward and I can restore the black and white adjustment layer in that area by having the white forward. Okay, so when white is forward, I'm returning the adjustment layer to what it was previously. When I have black forward, I'm revealing what is underneath. Okay, which in this case is the saturated color layers. Okay, so that is the edit for the color masking, and experiment with this. I'm going to ask you to post an image to this tutorial so that I can see that you understand how to do it. And it could be one of the ones that you shot from the assignment for the 5 from 1, or maybe it's another image you have that has some color in it, just so that you can try it out in advance of that. It's up to you. Okay?